remember last year at Providence, you said, you're kind of struggling and everything, and that, you would find it hard for your team to get better. And except for spurts, you turned out to be right, which
once in a while I am.
But it seems like this year's, from the outside watching, it seems like this year's different, because you guys seem so run down last year, except in flashes and stuff. Is it different than last year? Do you feel different? Do you think, this February could show the improvement you want to see? And, where do you think your team is as far as the 9 that are available or 7 available, however, where they are, mentally and physically?
Well, I think games are going to present themselves where we don't have an answer for what's going on, whatever that might be. I told you this 30 years ago. Hank Stram's great line, right? In order to win it all, you have to have it all. And I've coached teams where we had it all. No matter what came up, we had an answer. So there are going to be games this year, have been already, where if something's going on the court, we have no ability to change how the game is being played. Right? Normally you just bring 3 or 4 guys off the bench, do something completely different. So the only thing we can do is work really, really, really hard at the things that we're already good at now. And that means we have to be able to do those things every game. All right, like this run that we've had has been mostly a lot of good transition stuff. Okay? Well, that transition is because we have KK and Nika on the floor at the same time with Paige and Ash. So you got a lot of guys that want to push the ball, right? And you got to guard all of them because they're all capable of scoring. And then you got Aaliyah in the middle. So how do we get into transition games? Well, our defense has got to be great, and our rebounding has got to be great. Both things that sucked in the Villanova game in the first half, and that's why it was the way it was. And then in the second half, we guard the shit out of them, we rebound the ball, and our transition game gets going, and you see the end result. So can we get better? I'm not sure. But I do know that having KK, Ice, and Ash, you say those 3 guys, have they played to their max? No. So there's a lot of room for them to get better. So that's where we can get better, where a couple individuals can improve. And I think that can happen if we continue to play the way that we're playing. I don't see the tired factor there just yet. I think we got through the hard stretch. We've already been at Marquette, at Creighton, at St. John's, at Seton Hall, at Georgetown, at Villanova. So we have all of them at home.
It's just at DePaul, at Providence,
at Xavier. So I think the schedule from a travel standpoint helps us. Busing down and back the other night wasn't was a step back and going back in time. I thought we were going to stop and put everybody's everybody's $10 meal money together and stop at McDonald's and see how much food we could get for $70, like we did in the old days. CD would take all their meal money, put it all together. All right, what can we buy with this? Crazy.
How was it?
That's why coaching girls sucks. But I was at the Celtics game Thursday, and I wouldn't want to coach those fuckers either. I mean, it's just, for fun's sake, hear us. Whether I go see a high school game, my grandson's 10-year-old game, or an NBA game, or a college game. you see the exact same things happening all the time, and you go, they should know better. No, they don't, because they're the same. They're the same. Everybody's the same. Things, and it's like after the Notre Dame game. Like, you're never going to win another game. You'll never beat another good team. This is how you play. You'll be an 8 seed. Okay, I get it. We're 18-4. That's not bad, right? Are we 18-4 or 19-4?
Well, you were 4-3. 18-4.
We're 18-4. Anna, we 18-4.
Yeah.
Shit. I would have traded my house for 18 wins my first 3 years here. We didn't get to 18 my first 3, did we?
Correct. 17 third year. Was it 12, 14, and then 17, I believe?
Yeah, 12, 14, 17, 26. Or 20, 24. 24.
And now you're closing in on 1,200.
Yeah, I haven't heard that recently, Anna.
You don't like hearing that.
I know. Where are we?
2 away
Two
from
away.
1,200.
No.
I was going to surprise you.
Are we going to celebrate? We're going to celebrate?
Yeah, I was going to have balloons drop, like, all that.
Spot. I'm number 3. Is that what you want me to say?
Look at the bright side. I think if someone scores 51 points on you, I think you will make a couple of defensive adjustments before she does.
I don't know. We had a guard get what felt like 60 on us last weekend. So I can see how it happens. Trust me.
All jokes aside, you've seen so much of the game since you've been here. You've learned, how the players have changed and things of that nature. But what does it say about the state of the game that we're having conversations about how UConn still has things to fix, and yet they're still where they're at?
Every team that's gotten to number 2 in the country this year has lost. So that means there's a lot of teams in America that have shit to fix. Except South Carolina. And I'll bet you they're at practice every day going, we got to fix this. It's just ongoing. It's ongoing. You just never stop having to fix things. But you have to be realistic, too. It's like we've been through 111 wins in a row, 6 undefeated seasons, where people go, there's no competition in your game. Your game sucks. Okay, well, now, we've lost to 4 ranked teams, and we're 18-4. And what's wrong with you guys? You guys suck. Well, which is it? Which is it? I mean, I had a couple of players not say it to me, but say it to other people. I don't think Coach Auriemma, I don't know what's wrong with him. I said, why? What happened? Well, because I didn't come to practice after the Notre Dame game and throw everybody out and, cancel 5 scholarships and take away all their meal money. And I just acted like we had a game. We lost. We played a really good team. We played shitty. They played really good. On to Nova. And I think if you don't think of it that way, you can drive yourself crazy. But, so I've got a different perspective maybe after having been in it so long, and I'm trying to be, obviously you want to win every game, but I'm trying to be realistic as hell. Saying we just played 3 years without a full complement of a team, and in those 3 years, this is the 3rd year. Okay. I don't know what we are. We're undefeated in our league, and we're 18-4. Last year, we lost in the Sweet 16. The year before, we were in a national championship game. So, I'm realistic. We don't have all our players. We have 4 freshmen that have to play a lot. And I think we've done pretty damn good. And 2 years ago, last year we won 31 games. And we were falling apart in February, remember? We lost to St. John's and Marquette. It was hard summer renegotiating my contract, taking a cut in salary for losing the Sweet 16. It's rough here.
How nice was it to have Tina and Kalena at practice this week?
Well, Tina's always great to have because it's a big challenge for our big guys, and they get a kick out of it. She blocked a couple shots, scored on them on a couple things, but they had some success against her, so that was fun. KG being here reminded these guys, one day it's all over for you. So I don't know that I've ever had more fun coaching anybody than I did coaching KG. So it was great to see both of them. They were going to come today too, but they went to where'd they go? Providence. They went to go see Kylie's team play. Where you been?
You talking to me?
Where you been?
Mariah Jefferson coming home as I was about to leave the house.
Yeah, Mariah got traded to the Sun.
Get out!
Yeah, about half an hour ago.
For who?
For
Beck Allen is going to the Mercury.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Beck Allen to the Mercury. Mariah is coming to the Sun.
How do you like that?
How about that?
Well, yeah. How do you like that? I guess is the question.
Interesting. Well, I don't think it matters to me or to Mariah, probably, where she's playing, as long as I like to see a full season of a healthy Mariah, getting back to who she was. But I'm sure our fans will be happy to see her. It's tough business, man. You never know where you're going to end up, right? It's a lot of moving around in that league. I like that. For the longest time, right? Nothing ever happened. Right? You were on your team and that was it. You were on your team forever. Nobody traded anybody. Nobody was free agent. So I like that teams are actively trying to get better and, moving pieces around. And I think that's great.
Well, it's like Mike Tebow said. It was because everyone tried to screw each other. It would be like, send us Asia Wilson. We'll send you our 9th player.
Yeah.
That was the kind of thing. And at least now they have, there are people in GM positions that have a clue that, want, make fair trade.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's real world stuff now, man.
Last year, Luka averaged 36 a game. I think it was about 35 a game. I don't think anyone's over 31
minutes a game.
So if you've done a better job spreading things out, and has the schedule been kinder because you mentioned there doesn't have last year it was 5 games in 12 days stretching.
Yeah, we had a lot of bad scheduling issues last year that I think got taken care of this year. I think the conference did a much better job of balancing things out. And I think the fact that we've played so much better this year in so many ways in our league, and it's given us a chance to, to rest some guys. But again, we just see how long this can last. That's the best way I can put it. Just see how long it can last. We got 3 teams this week: Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday, right? So it's 3 games. Even though we beat St. John's and Seton Hall earlier on the road, last year St. John's came in here and beat us after we beat them really bad at their place. So you don't take any game for granted, and you can't sit here and go, can't wait till next weekend till we play South Carolina. because then you'll be going down there on the 2-game losing streak. So you got 3 games, and you just try to win one at a time, and you don't look ahead. That's it. That's what we got.
How much better are you when Nika stays locked in and doesn't get into foul trouble? She seems such a crucial piece to this team.
It's all, yeah. I mean, if you think about it, if she's not able to play or she's not playing exceptionally well, what's the alternative? You know, you just don't have enough enough other experienced players. You know, Paige didn't play all last year, so you take Nika out. Aubrey's not playing. Daisy's not playing. Caroline's not playing. So what are you left with? So you have to have her in the game. She has to be able to stay in the game, and she has to be. You know, I think she's having the best year since she's gotten here. Even if she doesn't, you know, have 1,000 assists like last year. This is her best year by far. By far.
Why? What do you see?
Just, you know, you look at, she has better control of our offense, I think. In the half court, more so. Last year, you know, Nika was great in transition, but we as a team, I think, struggle sometimes in the half court sets. And this year, I think we're a little bit better in that. She's really, really good with the young guys when they're in the game. She's shooting the ball better than she's ever shot it since she's been here. Generally speaking, she has stayed foul-free except for the Notre Dame game. I just think she's had a hell of a year so far.
Where'd you learn to milk a cow?
Well, I can't say that I ever spent a lot of time milking cows in Italy. Mostly I was trying to get my mother to not tell me to go break the chicken's neck. Go catch that rabbit so we can kill him for dinner. So I didn't really have a lot of experience with cows. And where I grew up in Norristown, there ain't a cow within 100 miles. So I was learning on the job. But compared to Sue, I'm like, expert farmer. Expert dairy person.
How much fun was it just to be a part of that? Because it looked like the outtakes.
It was fun.
The outtakes, you guys looked like you had more fun with the outtakes.
I haven't seen any of it. I asked her if she saw it. She told me it was on. I said I haven't seen it. But she said she thought it came out pretty good, and people seem to enjoy it. But yeah, she's easy to have fun with.
Should have called Tierney for advice or talked to her when she was around last week.
What's that?
Should have called Tierney.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We should have gone to her farm.
You talked to Sue a little bit about how that first title was the best and worst thing that happened to it. And I'm just curious about, is ambition a blessing or curse or both?
Oh, I think everybody gets in sports to win a championship of some kind. Because there's no guarantees and you never know. I've asked some of my coaches, like, why are you still coaching, man? Like, what do you got to do? And they said, I want to see what it feels like to be coaching on, Monday night, in the championship game. So you don't know if you're ever going to get an opportunity to do that. And then after you do, and after you win, the obsession to win another one, makes your life worse than before you won your first one. Because you have to kind of validate the first one. And you've got to win another one, And then after you win two, then you go, okay, well, if you don't win anymore the rest of your career, that's great. I don't care. You think that, but then once the season starts, you're just obsessed with winning a championship again. So, so ambition to win, I think, is normal. That's why you get into sports, to win, to compete. It becomes a little bit of a burden when you put that kind of expectation on yourself, because it's just impossible to accomplish it. It's impossible.
I know you said at Villanova you're having a different kind of fun now, like not necessarily winning a title year after year after year anymore. Are you finding different things that you enjoy about coaching now?
I notice that it's been somewhat refreshing to see that, as cocky as these kids are today coming out, who are convinced they know everything about everything, and people say you can't coach the kids today, or you can't do this. I never thought that. I just think it's refreshing to see that they respond the exact same way that those other guys responded, and you find out that they need the exact same thing those other guys needed. And when they realize it, and you see it in their face, and then they get better because of it, it's as rewarding as when you did it back, with Tina and them. So some of the stuff off the court's no fun. Some of the stuff that you have to deal with is no fun at all. But their reaction when they get something right and they're learning something they didn't know, it's worth it. It's worth it.
Are you coaching, trying to figure out how to win a championship still like you did back in the day, or is it always just trying to get a little bit better right now, different focus?
No, there were some years, when you start practicing in October, we're going to be in the championship game as long as we get to the arena on time. You just knew, because you knew what kind of team you had, what kind of experience you had, what kind of talent you had, blah, 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 blah. And then there's other years, you come to October 15th and you're not playing for a national championship. You might act like it, you might say you are, but you're not, because you don't have what it takes. And it's not like, well, shouldn't everybody think that no, you have to be realistic. So, right now I'm not coaching to win a national championship. I'm coaching right now to win the Big East championship. That's my focus right now. To win the regular season championship in the Big East. And then it'll be to win the conference tournament. And after that, who knows what could happen? We can knock down the first round. So this just, for one of the few times in a long, long time, I have not looked ahead one bit to anything other than what do we have next. Seriously, I can't even imagine looking past, tomorrow's game.
Even before they were all hurt at the beginning of the
season? In June, when they all left in June, it was different. When they all left here in June, I was feeling pretty good. But things changed.
Last weekend, when all the kids were back, and I'm thinking more of the 03-04 team now that they're older, 40-ish and whatever. Yeah. What was it like looking at them and seeing what they're doing in life, whether it's a Jessica Moore or an Ann Strother, whoever, and thinking about, I don't know if they talked to you and thanked you for the, impact you had on their lives or whatever, but what was that like?
Yeah, it's certainly much different than the 13 and 14 teams,
Mm-hmm. Right.
They're so recent. and a lot of those guys are still playing. But that 03-04 team, both of those years were so impactful, I think, to me as a coach, our players as individuals, and the team as a whole, that when I watched the highlights that they showed, I was amazed that they could do what they did. And as I said, I walked over to D. I said, D, I have no idea how you guys did that. No idea. I said, look at that team down there. She just looked down there and she just shook her head. Like, you compare that team and that team. Half the kids that were standing down there are on the wall in Worth. On this team, just D. So to look back and see what those guys accomplished, it was just, and from a non-basketball standpoint, D made a good point. She said, when you're not here anymore, you appreciate it even more than when you were here. And coming back, you know, and some haven't been back in a long time, and you know, and I think they felt tremendous sense of pride that, hey, I just came back, the place is sold out, big game, national television, and I had a hand in that. So it was really, really cool. I don't think it helped our players much on this team. I think it scared the shit out of them. But it was worth it. It was worth it having, when they all had dinner together Friday night, you know, and they were like, so they spent the all day Saturday going instead of playing basketball.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, where do you find a kid like Jessica Moore in Alaska?
Who's willing to sit out of here? Right? Who's willing to sit out of here? Think about in today's world. 2 weeks into practice, I say, hey, Jess, you know, I think it'd be better if you didn't play this year. Why waste a year when you're just getting started? 5 years. I said 5 years from. I said 5 years from now. 5 years from now, you'll be at your best. Why waste the year? Yeah, coach, I agree. Good. Imagine doing that today. Hey, I don't want you to play.
Transfer portal.